You already know it's your boy, the Maniac. And man, oh man. Now, with that being said, you know the slogan. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. In this video, we will be talking about Michigan's head coaching search. Because, man, we searching, but we ain't finding nobody. This is bad. As a Michigan fan, I'm going to always keep the faith. I know eventually it'll all be good. But right now, it's just bad. So apparently, the three top candidates for the Michigan job was Jeff Fish. But apparently, he failed a background check. Okay. Kalen DeBoer, the current head coach of Alabama, and Kenny Dillingham, the current head coach of Arizona State. Now, once Jeff Fish was out the picture, DeBoer, Dillingham, right? It was a back and forth between the fan base. Who would they rather as the head coach? But it was looking like it was going to be one of them, regardless. The rumors, right? And this is another thing that happens when things like this happen. I'm a podcaster. I don't have sources. Some of my guys do. They really do. But me, no, I don't. I don't text anybody and be like, yo, you got any word? So just like you guys, y'all find out the information. The same thing with me during this whole coaching search. You know, a lot of people claim that they knew what was going on, but the reality is no one knows what's going on because we don't. And right now, it seems like a bigger issue, right? And we're talking about within the higher-ups, the regents, administration, the AD, boosters. I mean, we're talking about everything. It's just a mess right now. And you can't blame some of these head coaches right now. Who wants to go into a storm, right? Hey, listen, I got my yacht right here, but we going right over there. Bro, that looked like a storm. Yeah, nah, you could go. I stay my ass right here. I ain't going into that storm, you know? So I don't really blame a lot of these coaches. And that's something that, you know, if you are a hardcore fan, you understand that. Like, yo, that's just how it is. Now, of course, the opposing fan, oh, nobody wants to go to Michigan. You guys suck. And all right, whatever. I get it. But the reality is that's not what it is. Michigan could pay top dollar with any program in the country. Dollar for dollar. But like I said, whoever's coming in, they coming in to a shitstorm regarding the higher-ups, not within the team. Because, oh my God, the culture at Michigan is just horrible. Is it? Is it? Because when we're talking about a cultural problem, bro, it's a collective thing. It's players and coaches. It's just coaches. It's just been coaches. Which Michigan players have been arrested, right? Which Michigan players got caught for shoplifting? Which Michigan players has been in trouble lately? So it's not a cultural problem. It's a coaching. The coaching, yeah. You go down the line, there's been a lot of issues within the coaching staff. So I wouldn't say a cultural problem. I would say it's a coaching problem. It's just coach after coach. That's reality. Right? So it's not like you got coaches and players running amok. And it's like, yo, damn, this is really a culture issue. So I think as far as the new coach goes, he just has to clean up the image. How you clean the image? Of course, make sure you hire competent staff or you keep what you have. And right now, the current coaches are on the staff because guess what? They've been having their nose clean, right? We just lost Chip Lindsey, the OC, only for 1 year. He's heading to Missouri. Hey, he probably got the keys to the car, but They was telling him where to drive. No, turn left here. Turn right here. Bro, keep your car. If you're going to give me the keys to the car, I'm driving. I want to go where I want to go. Let me do me. I'm behind the wheel. Let me drive. And I don't think Chip Lindsey was given that opportunity to really drive the car. So good luck to him. I really didn't have an issue with Chip. At times, yes, but I think Sharon had too much of a hand on this offense. But where does Michigan go now? The ball is headed to Pasadena with Alabama. Dillingham, a.k.a. Dilly, he just signed an extension with Arizona State. We know Jeff Fish is out. So who's Whittingham? Former coach of Utah. You have Anise, Division II coach with Ferris State. You know, you heard some Jeff Brahms. Look, I wouldn't mind any of those guys. But if you don't want to hire, again, maybe, I'm not saying that this is the answer, maybe you keep Poggi, we keep Biff. He is a guy that a lot of the players, man, love. Keep him for a year. See how it goes until we get a serious coach. You know, again, my opinion, not saying this is what Michigan should do, but I'm just saying, bro, just don't hire a coach for the sake of hiring a coach. Poggi, listen, look, we need you to sustain this class. Because right now, this is one of Michigan's best recruiting class in years. So if this recruiting class gets poached or starts decommitting or asking for the release of from Michigan, it's just going to get bad. So that's going to be interesting moving forward. What does Michigan do? Right? Because now players like, yo, but who's going to be our coach, man? Because another thing, very important, the transfer portal opens up next month. So before that transfer portal opens up, Michigan must have either official head coach or they're going to go interim head coach for a year, right? A certain program did it. OSU, you remember Jim Tressel, yeah. Y'all kept Lou Fickle for a year, and after that, who was available the next year? Urban Meyer. Now, I'm not saying there's going to be an Urban Meyer available after next season. Who knows? But the whole point is not to be desperate. They dropped the ball. Michigan dropped the ball with these guys. According to Dillingham, he was never offered a job. According to writers, sources, whoever, he was interviewed, but was never offered a job. Who do we believe, man? It doesn't matter because he's not coming to Michigan. So there's that. And people say, well, this is a perfect example that you guys are not a top coaching destination. And guys, this is another thing. When we say Michigan is a top 5 coaching job, how? Why nobody wants to go to Michigan then? Guys, it's the same thing. Ohio State, when Jim Tressel got fired, did everybody just drop their headset coaches and wanted to run and coach at Ohio State? Nah, bro, it doesn't work like that, bro. It doesn't work like that. There's just things that, agents and like, yo, do you really want to go into this? It's just not, you're coming into a program that fired a coach based on performance. Some say that had to do with it, but we know the real reason. Inappropriate relations with the staff. And it got uglier after that. So there's no one right now like, I don't know. And I don't blame them, honestly. But anyway, Michigan, when we're talking about top coaching destinations, First of all, there's no number one. I've mentioned this before. It's a subjective thing. You can't say, oh, Alabama's the number one. No, it's not. You can't say Ohio State. No, it's not. Because every program, top 5 program, pretty much is the same. Right? Texas, in no order, right? You got Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan. To me, that's it. Now you got Notre Dame and some other teams. Because look, people say, oh, but whether, and they say, because you have to also have a criteria, right? What is the criteria we base this off? Being a top coaching destination. What's the criteria? Someone said, oh, yeah, weather and in-state talent. Okay. I'm not saying no, but at the end of the day, most of the season, Michigan is a beautiful place. Weather-wise. Same thing like Ohio State. Same thing. Yes, in-state talent now, I would agree. Ohio, they're rich in talent, high school talent, that Michigan is. Michigan, there's a lot of talent in Michigan, but, we can't compare that. But it doesn't matter because Michigan is a national brand. And guess what they do? They recruit nationally. Recruits from everywhere. The South, the West, the East, the Midwest. So I'm not really so concerned about in-state talent. And we get most of that anyway. Right? Because that is the goal. If you're a top program of a certain city or certain state, you want to fence your state. Right? You want the best talent from your state. You want to make sure they come to your program. And then you work from there. So, regardless, to me, Michigan still could do that. Dollar for dollar, right? Dollar for dollar. You saw what we did with Bryce Underwood. So they say LSU's a better coaching destination than Michigan. Again, based on what? I'm not saying Michigan is the number one coaching destination because there isn't. But they're top 5, easily. And a lot of these programs you guys mentioned, they just started being a top destination. Was Alabama top destination in the 90s? Georgia? Texas? No. Michigan? Yeah. So Michigan's been doing this. These programs just started being, competing to be a top destination. Ohio State, yes, I'll give them that. But Texas, Georgia, come on, man. Like I said, I'm 44 years old. So you cannot sit here and tell me Georgia's old. No one even watched Georgia in the 90s, bro. They had Garrison Hurst. And shout to him. He was a hell of a player. He played for my 49ers. But you get what I'm saying. Georgia had time. I'm not trying to play Georgia. Let's be clear. I'm just saying they weren't no brand like that. Michigan is a brand. A brand. Just like Pepsi. Everywhere you go in the world, people know what a Pepsi is. Same thing with Michigan. There's only a few programs they could do that. And I'm sorry, you could say what you want. You could get in your feelings. But that is a fact. Same way I'm keeping it real. There's no coaches eager to come to Michigan right now. But whoever it is, he's going to get paid. I've said it before. LSU, Alabama, Michigan will buy those universities, man. And turn them into a shopping mall. As a matter of fact, they'll turn that into a city MD. And that's, y'all probably don't know what the city MD is. It's here in the city. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, man. Michigan go dollar for dollar with any program. The only advantage I give these programs over Michigan is the academic standards. And that advantage is Michigan. But the reason I said I give these programs the advantage is that their standards are low when it comes to sports, right? I'm going to give you a perfect example. Caleb Downs. After his freshman season, he transferred to Ohio State. Even if he wanted to come to Michigan, he would not have been able to. Admissions wouldn't accept him because he wouldn't have had enough credits. So even if he said, man, I want to go to Michigan, he couldn't. But he went to Ohio State. That's what these programs have over Michigan. That's it. That's it. I don't care what anybody tell me. Those are the facts. So anyway, you tell me in the comments. I want to hear what's your criteria, honestly. Because you're talking money, brand. You're talking about the biggest stadium in the country. You're talking about one of the prettiest cities, Ann Arbor, in the college towns in the country, Ann Arbor. These are all facts. Big time names have come through this university, have won a championship recently. Like, stop playing with me, man. Don't disrespect Michigan. But I get it. A lot of y'all rivals, y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want reality, right? Because once Michigan hires a coach, we'll see who stays and who goes. And we'll take it from there, man. We'll take it from there. But Michigan has dropped the ball, man, honestly. We'll see what happens. Ward Manuel looks like he'll be gone soon. But who knows, right? That again, that's the birdies. That's the birdies talking. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Michigan must have a coach before that portal opens, right? Or have the interim coach. Because we need to go in that portal. We need to get some players. We need to replenish while these other teams are in the playoffs making their run. Let's get the meat and potatoes and let these guys get the scraps, these other programs. So we'll see what happens. But regardless, you already know, Michigan to the death and beyond. It's your boy, the Maniac, and I'm out. One, go blue.